Tony Abbott has set out a tough new policy on asylum seekers, and all of its key elements are drawn from John Howard's handbook. Mr Abbott has turned the clock back a decade. He's promising a return to temporary visas and offshore processing for new boat arrivals. The government claims it's a policy mess that won't stem the flow of boats. Chief Political Correspondent Mark Simpkin.
He urged his colleagues to move on from the Howard government, but he isn't running away from some of his mentor's most controversial policies.
How's it going, fellas?
Tony Abbott vowed to take an action man approach to people smugglers.
I think I am a big risk to people smugglers. If I get elected, people smugglers will go out of business.
He wants to do that by making what's old new again. The coalition will resurrect the Pacific solution, although it isn't saying which countries will be approached. Boats will be turned around when possible, and when not, temporary protection visas will be reintroduced. Visa holders can stay in Australia for as few as 6 months, a maximum of 3 years. They'll have to work for welfare, some will be forced to learn English and participate in cultural integration programs.
Stop the boats we must, stop the boats we will.
The Coalition's policies announced today are simply appalling. They're inhumane, they breach international law, and they pull the rug from under the ideal that Australia is a country where you'll get a fair go.
It is a complete nonsense. It's a bugger's muddle. It won't solve any problem, and if I was the Liberal Party, I'd be embarrassed by it.
Some moderate Liberals are embarrassed by it.
I think it is cruel, yes.
Petro Georgiou told the ABC the policy further victimises the persecuted. It's time to stop treating refugees as political footballs.
I stand in the absolute assurance that hope will always triumph over fear.
They're a conscientious but small group. I respect their view, but the truth is that we need to stop the boats.
Some Liberals think the plan is tougher than John Howard's approach. One called it a huge regression. Tony Abbott gave 3 of the moderates a courtesy briefing this morning, but he didn't take the policy through the party room, and that's fuelled the frustrations. The leader says there was appropriate internal consultation. Mark Simpkin, ABC News, Canberra.